Hey guys, it's Maymay, and tonight we're going to make a quick, easy, very last minute gift idea that won't look last minute and be very personalized. I know many of you have seen when someone has one of these on their desk, these little note pages, and mine, I just made these for myself that say from the desk of Maymay Helms. And you've seen these little containers where they can just slide this out and make a little note. Well, that's what we're going to do. So I put these on this paper tonight so you can see, because I'm doing this out of black chipboard, which was so graciously sent to me from Judy Garner. I appreciate it so much. I got the package today and I am already playing with it. So I love this. You remember I love this black, thick, matte board chipboard that has the black edges. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to need 2 pieces of your chipboard or matte board cut 1 by 4 1/2. Okay, you'll need 2 pieces cut 1 by 5 3/4. You'll need 1 piece cut 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. You'll need 1 piece cut 2 1/2 by 4 1/2. And then these are cardstock pieces that are going to be our little hinges. And these are cut 1 by 10 1/4. Now don't worry, I'm going to put these measurements below the video so you'll have them. But just so you can see them, if you want to come back and freeze this frame, you can come back and look and see what they are. So let's get started. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 1-inch strips that are our cardstock and we're going to score them in half at 1/2 inch all the way down, just to give us a good bend on these. Now I got a new matte board, I got a new background, and it's very, very dark. So because of that, I'm going to be using some craft paper tonight. If I'm using something that's not black paper, you can usually see it better, but I want to make sure you can see really good. So we'll be putting this on the craft paper for now. So what I'm going to do is take some sticky tape, and please use something very strong here. Not an ATG. This needs to be a sticky tape or your red line tape. Whatever you use to put together mini albums or things you want to last a really long time, that's what you want to use here. And this sticky tape I get from Tupelo Designs LLC. I'll put a link to it below as well. I love this tape so much. Alright, now what we're going to do, we're going to attempt this. If I tell you I have not made one of these and I'm doing this on camera for the first time, will you believe me? I do not know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it this way. So, the first thing we're going to do is line our pieces up in this order. We're going to put the rectangle piece down first, our top and bottom side, and as this comes together, this will make a lot more sense. And then we're going to take this 2 1/2 by 4 1/2 piece and put it at the top. So you see how we kind of have these lined up this way. And I'm going to separate them just a tiny little bit. Just enough, just about, not even quite an 1/8 of an inch, more like a 1/16 of an inch. Just enough for them to fold is all we're going to do. And try to keep them pretty straight. If you need to take a ruler and line them up, you can do that too. Okay, now I'm going to take one of the strips, fold it in half on that score line we did. Okay, and take off one strip of the adhesive backing, only one, not the second one yet. And then I'm going to line this up along the edge of this setup. And I'm going to flip this over and make sure I have it lined up correctly, because I can always pick up and move before I really burnish it down. Just to make sure we're good and even. And then I'm going to burnish that in place. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the other side the same way. Fold this guy in half. Okay. Peel off this backer piece. And I'm just going to line this up along the edge and stick that down. So now we have this. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is make some notches in my adhesive. So I'm going to take my small scissors and I'm going to come right here, and where this line is, I'm going to make a straight notch to the score line but not past it. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to do little notch marks. Not very deep. We're going to stay kind of thin on these little notch marks so you see how thin that one is. Then I'm going to go to this next line, to the score line but not past it. Okay. And then I'm going to notch inward, like so. And I'm going to do that everywhere we have a separation in the chipboard. Everywhere we're going to bend it. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side the same way. This is just going to take some of the bulk out of the bend. Just make that easier. Anytime you have a little bulk, you can just kind of miter these corners and get rid of some of that. Okay, now what we're going to do is take these and just kind of work them together in a fold shape. Remember, they only have to go 90 degrees, so you don't have to force them any more than 90 degrees. So you see how I kind of got that going like that? This is going to become the little box that holds our goodies in it. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is peel off this strip of backer, of adhesive backer right here. And then I'm going to take our 1 by 5 3/4 piece and put it about a 1/16 of an inch. I don't even have to really do that if I want to kind of press it up against the side and then pick this edge up and fold it to it. Then I know where it's going to go. I don't have to do that separation part. Just kind of get that lined up, and then it's going to fold straight up just like that. Okay, so we're going to do that on the other side. And go ahead and get this folded, and then bring this little guy over, stick it in place, and then bring that adhesive up to it. Then I know it's in the right place and I can just lay it down and burnish it. Okay, the next thing we want to do is this corner. So I'm going to peel away this adhesive, the backer that is, and then bring this up to where they meet, corner to corner, and then wrap that around to seal that edge. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on this corner. Bring this edge upward, fold that over, so that seals that edge. So you can see we're getting a nice box here. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and peel this one off while I'm at it. Okay, then I'm just going to stand this up and let those pieces go into that side and then wrap that around. It's not hard to do at all. It's really quick. That was the whole point. I wanted something quick that could be a nice gift. All right, the next thing we're going to do is take off these. Now this piece is going to lay over the top, and it's going to lay right inside of those pieces we have, and we can press those down into place to hold it. And then this piece. So now this is what we've created. Now what will happen when it's finished is these little papers will sit right inside of there, and so you'll give somebody a little custom made desk set for their desk so they can have these little papers to make notes when they need them. So I'm going to take these out for now, and it's going to be time to decorate. Now one thing I want to do, because I just want it to look neat and clean around all the edges, see I've got some good neat edges on this side because of that strip. I'm going to create some more strips that go in those areas that are kind of raw, and I'll show you how we'll do that. Okay, so to do this part, I went ahead and cut some more 1-inch strips. I scored them in the middle, and I went ahead and added the adhesive to save us some time. These strips are 3.5 inches and 4.5 inches, but don't worry, I'll put all the measurements below. Now here's where these are going to go. I don't like these raw edges, so I'm going to peel these little adhesive backers off. I'm just going to place these into the box, lining that score line up, so that I can fold this over and not have a raw edge at all showing. It'll be nice and clean. So just place it in until the score line lines up. You don't want to cover the score line. Like you don't want to hide your score line. You want to be able to see it because that way you'll get a better fold over the edge. Okay. And then we're just going to fold that over. And what that's going to do is just clean that edge up. We're still going to put some pretty papers and stuff, but that'll just make it nice and clean. So I'll just bring that so you can see how clean and neat that is now. We just have the paper showing. Nice and neat. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side, and this side. So same thing. We're just using our little strips and just making it clean and neat. So I'm going to fold this one back so I can see where I'm at. And I'm going to line that up with the very edge of the box. A little overlapping, not much, just a little. Okay, and then I'm going to roll that over the side. Now look how clean and neat that edge is. Much better. Same thing here. And this makes this a very sturdy little box. Not hard at all to do. So I'm going to fold this one backwards again, because I can see that fold better when I do that. I'm going to lay it on the top, overlapping slightly, wrap it around so that it catches, and then burnish it in place. And then one more right here. I think I've decided I'm going to wrap one around this part too. So I'm going to cut one more 4.5 by 1 and wrap it around that part. I think that'll look neat and clean. So I've cut another strip here and I'm going to get that fold started and just place it along the edge here. That lined up neatly and fold it under. So now all of our edges are closed and fold, and it's a nice sturdy box. Okay, so once we decorate it, of course, which we're going to do now, these will go inside. Now I want to talk to you about these for a second. The way I created these, and I just did one sheet to show you, I just took a text box in my regular software, and I use Pages on a Mac, but you could do this in Word. I took a 4.25 by 5.5 inch text box, and I just placed it in 4 corners of the page. Okay, then at the top I put "From the Desk of" and my name and printed it off. Now I made sure that I took the margins out completely. I don't want it to print low. I want it to print right at the top of the page as high as I can get it. If you have to kind of come down a space, that'll be fine. Your name will just be a little lower. That's no big deal. And then when you get this in one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, you cut it at 4.25 and 5.5, and you end up with 4 perfect sheets that will fit inside here. That's why this is a super easy project, because you only have to print that, you just print out a stack of these and put inside to give away. And this is only 1 inch deep, so it wouldn't take too many sheets to get you there. So that was just to show you how I did that. But now let's decorate this guy. Do you guys remember this paper pad I got from Tupelo Designs? It's a Prima paper pad called Coffee Break. I'll link it below. And what I love about it is it's very officey. It has coffee cups and typeset, and it has typewriters and things like that. And I just thought this is super cute. And so I cut a bunch of these pieces to mat onto our box. So that's what we're going to do. I'll move this out of the way, and then I'm going to bring our box back over. Okay, now remember, this is really the top of your box because that's where the name is, okay? So I'm going to put this guy right here. I think that's super cute. And for this part, I am going to use some ATG. I think it'll be just fine here. And this is my 1/2 inch ATG gun. I'll put that one there. Then I made this one for the inside. Did I want to do the cork? I can't remember. I kind of like the cork. I think that looks cool. So I'm going to use that side. Looks like... There's that piece. I like that in there. That's neat. Okay, and then I have these strips for the side, and I'm going to use the pink. I like the way the pink looks. I think it'll look good on the black. Then I'm going to do these edges here. I've got a little coffee paper on this side. Looks like little coffee cups. And I even went ahead and cut some for the inside. I think it'll be nice to have these little strips inside. So here's one, and it's going to go at the bottom here. Do I have this facing correctly? Yes, that was right the first time. So one there. And I'll use that colored side. slip that in there. Just press that into place. And that piece didn't go all the way in, but it goes far enough in. It's no big deal there. And then this little strip. Now for the fun part, we're going to decorate it. Remember, this is the top. I'm going to go ahead and put these guys in. So those will lay in like that. Isn't that cute? And then this is the portion we're going to decorate. Now I got this trim from Tupelo Designs. This was sent to me in a design package. And I'm going to wrap it around the bottom. I think this is going to look really neat. I'm going to wrap this like this. And then I think I'm going to tie a bow. This is for my desk so I can be girly. But if you wanted to be very manly, just use some manly papers and you'll have it made. I'll cut that away. I'm going to stick it down with some of this double-sided adhesive. This stuff is amazing. This is the wider one. You can also get the wider double-sided from Tupelo Designs. And now I'm just going to bring this up. Just like that. Now you can hot glue this too. If you don't feel as comfortable with it, just feel free to hot glue it. I think that will be just fine. Now I'm going to tie a little bunny ear bow. This makes the prettiest bows, to me anyway. It reminds me of burlap without being burlap, and I just love that. I love anything that reminds me of burlap. Now for the bow, I am going to hot glue that on because I want to make sure it stays nice and snug, and it's going to go right here in this area. So while my glue gun is heating up, I want to show you this little telephone that Miss Judy Garner sent me that I'm in love with. I think this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the little scrap paper behind it, and I'm going to use my clear Wink of Stella pen, and I'm going to glitter it. I'm not going to heat emboss it. Here's why. Look how cute this looks in that craft color. Doesn't it just go well? I think it does. So I just want to glitter it. So this is my clear Wink of Stella pen. And I'm just going to give it a little shine. Now while I'm coloring this, I want to talk to y'all about something. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be working a little heavier with Tupelo Designs with them sending me product. So what I'm going to do, I think this will be a lot easier. In the description below, I'm going to put links to any products that I use that are available on their website. And if I use products that aren't available on their website, but that I can find another link for, I'm going to go ahead and start linking those for you too. I've noticed a lot of you are very interested in getting some of the stuff that I use, especially lately since Miss Judy's been sending me such gorgeous stuff. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to find places for you guys to buy that, and I'll put links below. Do not feel obligated. I just want to have a place for you to be able to find the stuff I'm using. So now we've glittered it, and I know how bad it is to see Wink of Stella on, but it is very pretty. It's very subtle, and I like that. I'm going to let that dry for just a second and bring this back over and see if the hot glue is ready. And it is. I'm going to put some glue here on the back of this bow. Not too much, just a dot. I'm going to put this down here. I love that bow. Then I'm going to hot glue this little telephone down to the other side. Can you see how quickly you can make these for gifts? I mean, really quickly. This is not difficult. We didn't do any painting. All we did was some cutting and some gluing and even some ATGing. Just going to put that little phone right there. Just a little extra something. And I'm going to hot glue my tails where I want them to be so you can see my telephone good. So there you go, guys. The only thing left for me to do is to print out the rest of my papers. And then I have this neat little desk piece, or this little piece for my desk, that when I need paper, I have it. How cute. Now just think, you could take this and you could make a little cup to match and wrap it in the same paper for the pens to go in. You could do all kinds of things for someone's desk. But how quick could we throw this together for a great last minute Christmas gift? All you do is print these on your own paper out of your own printer and then just make this simple little box. I hope that was helpful for your last minute Christmas gift ideas, and I will see you guys again on Monday. Now Monday will be my last video until after Christmas. I'm going to take some time to spend with the family for a few days. So Monday will be my last video, but I will have one more before Christmas. So I look forward to seeing you then. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.